It's the Letting Go University live stream. Today, we're going to look at what is the world. The world is a false perception. So, in some insane attempts to be separate from God, the ego mechanism was invented. We take this entirety of our being, all that is, and we encase it in a body, and then we give it a place to be and other bodies. And so now we can pretend to be separate in an insane illusion. So the mechanism of illusion is the ego mechanism. It's an attempt to seek separation from God. It's an attempt to do the impossible. It can never be true because there is no separation from God. Though it has been attempted. I don't understand why such an insane attempt would be made, but I guess it has to have something to do with all potentialities of anything that could ever happen anytime being in the infinite imagination of all that is. So we've got this mechanism of illusion, the ego mechanism. What do we do about that? How do we turn the world into something else, a representation of what actually is of truth? Well, that is through the mechanism of forgiveness. The mechanism of forgiveness is also known as the mechanism of letting go. It is the process of being restored to sanity, becoming truth, acknowledging truth. So when we're in the world and we're still participating in it from the ego mechanism, the mechanism of illusion, the solution is to use the mechanism that is inherent for us, that's been given to us by the Holy Spirit, by God, for restoration of sanity, for salvation of the world, the mechanism of forgiveness. Not needed in heaven, though essential here for us. And the mechanism of letting go is the same thing. Forgiveness and letting go are synonymous. Illusion and ego are synonymous. So let's take a look at the world and let's let go. Let's forgive it. Let's use what we have been given to bring salvation to the world, to have the entire world transformed with the vision of Christ, with the vision of the Holy Spirit. We're to surrender the world and its events to the Holy Spirit. We're willing to surrender all of our perceptions that we may have what actually is, replace our perceptions and our illusions. Let's free ourselves and free the world from our attempts to seek separation from God. Let's no longer attempt to do the impossible. It's a lot of work. It's quite unpleasant, isn't it? To try and pretend to be separate from God. So let's just let that go. So take the world, take something in the world where it seemed like we're separate from God. Where does it seem like you're separate from God? How has the world attempted to seek what can never be found for you? Now, that might be another person. Oh, they're separate from me. They're separate from God. That might be some event in the world. Could you take something where it seems like God is not there and just notice your perception about it? Can you just allow up and acknowledge anything that seems to be separate from God in the world? And are you willing to surrender your perception about this person, place, thing, event? You don't have to. It's just a choice. Will you surrender your perception about this to the Holy Spirit. Are you willing to let go of how you're seeing this person, event in the world? And the answer might be yes or no. Remember, the ego mechanism is attempting to reinforce separation. Otherwise, it just dissolves. So it's your choice whether to go with the ego mechanism, hold on to a perception of separation which doesn't exist, or to use the mechanism of forgiveness, of letting go, and allow the situation to be transformed, dissolved, and replaced with the vision of Christ. So you can take that same situation or something else. What's going on in the world? What's a person who seems to be separate from God? What's an event that seems to be separate from God? Does the world seem to be separate from God? Is God out there and we're down here? So taking any event that particularly seems to be utilized by the ego mechanism to reinforce separation. And can you just notice your perception of that event, that person, something going on in the world? And are you willing to forgive that perception? Are you willing to let it go, turn it over to the Holy Spirit? It's just a choice. You don't have to. If we were forced to have an experience of truth, then there would be no need for perceptions. So just, are you willing? Would you make the choice to forgive this as you've seen it in the world? And just a yes or a no is fine. When could you let go of this perception of this person or event, this thing in the world? When could you forgive it and welcome the Christ's vision? Not something you have to do separate from God. Not some new illusion, just surrendering, turning it over to the Holy Spirit. Let it be done for you, if you're willing to surrender. And could you just take a look at the world, this world that was made in seeking separation from God, the world as it seemed to be, as viewed from the mechanism of the ego, the mechanism of illusion. And taking any event, any person, place, or thing in the world where separation from God has seemed possible, where forgiveness has not been applied. And without judging or moralizing about the illusion, just noticing the perception that seems to be there. And as is always your opportunity, every moment and every day, are you willing to surrender your perception of this to the Holy Spirit? Are you willing to use the mechanism of letting go, the mechanism of forgiveness in this perception? Could you surrender the world as it seems to have been through the perception of illusion and the ego? Could you surrender that to God, to the Christ, and allow his vision to replace the illusion which you once saw? You'll never be forced to do this, for you have been given complete freedom. Son of God, you want to attempt to be separate? Okay. Though the peace of heaven, the joy of God has been preserved for you, for the truth is always true, and illusions are always transitory. Whenever you will to do so, you may surrender the world to God, to the Holy Spirit. And through the mechanism of forgiveness, your illusion that you made will be replaced by the vision of Christ, and the world will be made saved. What is the world but your choice to seek separation or let go and let God? Every decision you make, every moment of the day, it's just a choice. You have been given the opportunity to choose what you are or to choose what you are not. The whole world waits for your decision and their salvation in your choice. Will you utilize the mechanism of the ego, the mechanism of illusions, to pretend separation from God? Or will you utilize the mechanism of forgiveness, the mechanism of letting go, and be restored to sanity and all the world with you? The love is always there, no matter what you choose. Choose what you will, and enjoy this day of your many opportunities to let go and let God. Have the best day ever.